Welcome to A Little Help podcast, where understanding life cycles can lead to bigger and better changes.
That S gets longer every episode.
I know, right?
You know what? Introduction. We got Minnie and we got Mike again.
Mhm.
Okay.
And she's so happy about it.
Right. You excited?
For the record, you invited me and her.
Mm-hmm.
No, you all just come. Y'all just...
I could be eating.
She's
She's still hungry.
She's still hungry from the last
Still hungry.
episode.
Oh.
So when she comes, she needs to start eating before she gets here.
Do I need to have a buffet set up for you guys next time?
Chicken wings, please.
I can do
Ooh,
that.
yep.
I could totally do that.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
What just happened?
We're keeping that.
I would agree. I would agree.
Okay.
All right.
So last episode, Mignon was like really, really shocked about these relationships that I had, these broken relationships.
No. I was trying to figure out who you were talking about. I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, and it just was not coming up with 4.
You kept getting 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about the wounds, you know, and the non-healing and how you continue to just run into these same type of people. And again, because you don't have mentors, you don't have nobody to talk to, you know, you're just going through life constantly bumping your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel that, you know, we're in this culture that confuses loneliness with love.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. And it's like social media, you know, you look at this stuff on TV, it glorifies being wanted even for the wrong reasons.
I want to make sure I'm following you correctly. So when they are lonely and they get in a relationship, that automatically equates love.
Some people,
Because
they're
that
lonely,
need is being met.
they feel like, you know, now I'm with this person. You may not be in love right away, but because you're spending all this time with them, you know, because you're lonely, you may even get into this relationship and you're really not even into this person, but because you're lonely, you attach to them.
So then
Which
what you're saying
eventually
is
goes-
it's better than being alone. Being in a relationship that you maybe don't care to be in is better than being alone. You'll put up with anything.
A lot of people do.
Okay.
And eventually, you know, a week turned into a month turned into a year. So now we are equating your loneliness to love.
Now
you know,
it's convenient.
Some people, and a lot of women, it's probably convenient to that man.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of women
Okay. Well, for women then, familiar.
love.
Is it though?
I don't think
A
it's
lot
love.
of women, men and women to me are different. Men will say what they, you know, hey, you know, I'm in it for convenience, and a woman, you know, I think we talked about it before when you mentioned dating somebody, you know, well, you know, I'll just be there. We can what was it? We just gonna hit, you know, what you call it,
Friends with benefit?
right?
Ooh.
But you end up falling.
I didn't think that's where you were going.
She's
But
showing her age. We just going
Yeah, you got the friends with benefits thing. Well, you talked about it in another podcast.
Yeah.
But eventually the woman starts wanting more, which eventually is going to turn into love, where that man is still in that same spot.
but why? If you know,
but I don't think I was in love.
and
I'm
if you're going
pretty sure
into
I
it
wasn't.
knowing that you're FWBs,
Well, let me go ahead.
then
Come on.
then why? Then how is it possible to have that happen?
we had another podcast where I mentioned I was just friends with a person.
Oh, well, listen.
And sometimes, you know, I'm still on this level of we just chilling. We just friends. We ain't even doing nothing.
Did he know that?
So, but
We ain't
okay.
even doing nothing.
Here's the thing, though. I strongly believe that there may have been a bit of a cognitive delay there.
Okay, I need a translation for that.
He
Meaning what?
wasn't working with a full deck of cards.
Oh, okay.
But and again, which is why we just friends.
Right. But I think what I'm saying is I think that his actions were based on the fact that, like, mentally wasn't really
But-
all there to
right.
begin with.
Right. And,
So
and
what do you
he
think?
was trying to take it to, more like a guy that really hasn't dated or, a little.
What do you think he was expecting then out of it?
A relationship.
Like a loving, we're together relationship.
Yeah.
And Mignon, why do you think he was not there mentally? Like why?
Because I know him.
But I know I'm saying like signs wise, like what did you see that made you think that he wasn't in it for a relationship?
He was a little mentally off, is
yeah.
what she's trying to say.
Like,
Like
I don't know
like,
what other way to say it than he had like a cognitive
Well, so far you haven't said it.
cognitive delay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay.
his understanding of interactions with someone would more than likely mean more to him than it would the other person. So while you're thinking we're just friends, we're hanging out, maybe we're going to grab a bite to eat, which for the most part, I would be there as well.
Sure.
He is thinking this is blossoming into like some sort of beautiful relationship.
Okay,
he's
so
like making this up for himself.
I got you. See, I was thinking it in the opposite where he thought it was just a friendship.
No.
So it was the opposite. He was more into it as an actual real relationship.
Let me go here. Kyla's gonna make me a meme. I already know. The amount of times I've stuttered already. So this is the person who spray painted the curse word on the garage, right?
Right.
Okay. Let me solidify what I mean here.
Okay.
When he spray painted the curse word on the garage, he spelled it Bicth.
Bike. Okay.
Got it?
No, he spelled it Bich.
No.
I
remember.
I'm the one that had to actually paint over it, so I remember.
Okay, well, it might have been two eyes, but it was also
Either
two
way, it was
words
spelled
two
very
letters
wrong.
that were switched.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, what caused that to happen?
He fell in love, I guess. I don't know.
And this is what I'm
Hell.
saying.
Okay.
A lot of people, they get into these relationships because they're lonely. Oh, we can hang out, we can go, we can do this, we can, go out, eat, we can go, Netflix and chill, whatever. And
Oh, Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill means, I don't think you know what it means.
so anyway, one person,
What do you think that means?
just go and
If you
chill.
start the sentence with
I'm not
then
trying
no.
to Netflix and chill. Okay, I know you youngins, you millennials feel like Netflix and chill is eventually going to lead to sex. No,
No, it's not.
that's-
It's not going to eventually. It will.
It is. That's the whole point.
April, I think you need to find a better dating hookup app because the ones you've been using ain't working.
She don't get on apps.
Well, maybe she should.
Oh no. So what you're trying to tell me that you don't know of anybody that would say, well, I'm lonely, I'm going to start hanging out with this person, and eventually it turns into love.
Is that usually what you want? Like you want to build a friendship with someone before you deep dive into a relationship?
I just said a lot of people confuse loneliness with love. They've been dating, they've been hanging out, they've been going out, they've been chilling with each other, and eventually one person is starting to fall in love with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means a conversation needs to be had at the beginning and as you start to have these feelings. Like, okay, are we on the same page or are we not?
Almost like a check-in halfway through and say, all right, are we still thinking the same things?
Right. But let me go back. Let me go back to last podcast where I was talking about, relationships and everything. And that's something that we didn't have back then when I was coming up and was dating, where you have all of these, Steve Harveys and everybody on here talking about when you start dating, you need to ask these questions and that. We didn't have that guidance to say, well, let me, start dating this person. Let me see what he wants to do for his future.
Steve Harvey?
Just because you always see him talking about,
He is kind of like the know-it-all of nothing.
So, he got
I'm
the
just
book,
saying.
I like that, Mike.
Yeah.
But it's a lot out there that talk about these things and what you should look for and the questions you should ask. But again,
But let me throw this at you. There was also books like the Kama Sutra, and if there was stuff as deep as sex books back then. There had to be.
Who was even thinking about back then?
But what I'm saying is there had to be some
like
sort
a
of
you
reference.
problem.
We weren't even thinking about all of that. We weren't even.
Self-help books have been around for a very long time.
We weren't thinking about all that.
Okay, so they were
we
there.
Literally weren't,
They were there, you just didn't use them.
Or to even know that they were there and what to go and get and what to use.
Okay, that's fair.
But the way that you read, you used to read a lot. So to say that you wouldn't know that they were there.
It's certain books that I would go and get when I needed when I was going through a certain something, I would go to the bookstore and I would pick out that book. But to go and get the self-help, let me learn how to date,
let me learn how to love myself. But you were reading like T.D. Jakes, Joyce Myers,
the common people that most people were going out at that time and buying and getting.
And like you
one
said,
could argue that they teach you about love and relationships, though.
And I used them.
Or like you said before.
But they weren't telling me, oh, you need to ask these questions. I never picked up a book that said, these are the questions you need to ask when you're dating.
Okay, girl.
So, again, I would use different books that I would read. And like I said, back then was the common people. Like you said, I did read the T.D. Jakes and the Joyce Myers and the... But again, I never picked up a book, and I don't know if other people did. Obviously, they didn't, because a lot of us back in that time, we weren't into that. All of this started coming, in the late 20.
I think you got to start speaking for yourself. Instead of generalizing that everybody.
When I was dating.
I mean, she did say that when I was.
No,
so.
I get that. But you're saying like you also then are going back to we.
So tell me, did you go into the, Mike, did you see where they had the self-help books? Did you go and reach out to self-help books where they were saying, well, when you're dating, you should ask these 5 questions?
Well, no, I see what you're saying. And to be fair, just because the books were there, you may not have known what self-help you needed.
Thank you.
And I'm not.
Which means we weren't going out there picking up these books because we didn't know.
Right. You didn't realize that you needed help.
I want you to say I.
It's a lot of weeds out here. I'm sorry. I talk to people, and it's a lot of weeds out here that we literally didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Times were so different back then.
Yeah.
Dating from where it is now, we didn't have these phones. We didn't have all this stuff.
To be realistic, what you did have were things like video dating services and matchmakers and
or newspaper ads.
But all these podcasts and people talking about this is what you should be doing.
Yeah, it was harder to get shared information is a good way to put it, I think.
Period.
Yeah. I get that.
Period.
And to be realistic
gonna look at me?
But the we, because I've even heard my mom say that word, it's we didn't have. Because I think at the time it was kind of a you, me, and who you knew kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was it. But,
mm-hmm.
you know what you know at the time that you know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
But I do feel like I was saying, with the social media, people watching social media, people on, look at all of the glorified relationships that you see. Are they really great? Are they really these great relationships? These stars that are posting
Mm-hmm.
and and next thing you know, y'all done broke up, y'all ain't together. But you show all of these glam pictures of these, couples and people feeling like, I'll go and be with this person. And that's something else that really gets to me. I look at these stars, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women, that are in these relationships. And it doesn't matter how pretty you are. It don't matter what your figure, what your shape is. It don't matter. We're all broken.
Mm-hmm.
We're all broken. You can go in here, you can put on the best clothes, the best jewelry, the diamonds, the furs, the cars. You can have it all.
And some people can just afford to hide it better.
Remember when people used to glorify Will and Jada's relationship?
Yeah, look how that turned out.
I mean, we could name a whole lot. It's like These so-called
Hey.
perfect relationships.
Even Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce,
Which is shocking.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, as pretty as Halle Berry is.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman.
Mhm.
But you know, on TV again, glorifying all these relationships and these couples, but we're all broken and, you know, need the therapy and need the time to stop dating and go and get some healing. Find out what's wrong with you.
Well, then what do you say when you talk about couples like, for example, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, who have been together for...
Who the hell?
Well, we're
Tom
not,
Hanks?
we're not saying
I
that.
had to think about it. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest
But
Gump.
we're not saying that they're not perfect
But
relationships
no, what I'm saying,
out here.
I'm using them as
there are.
I'm using them as the example. Not they, I'm sure they're not perfect, but it's an example of how some can hide it better than others. Everybody has
Everybody's
problems.
going to have issues in a
Yeah.
relationship, period.
But don't you ever wonder how come some of these people can hide it better than others or figure it out better than others? And I'm just talking not even
Because
celebrity.
maybe they're equally yoked.
Well, that's true.
And you have some that aren't.
Yeah.
You have some, why did, you know, were we really compatible? Should we really be together? You know, did you
Yeah.
really look to see if we can really get along? Or are you trying to fit that puzzle piece in to
Trying to make it work.
make it work?
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Some puzzle pieces just, boop.
I'm going to say I don't feel comfortable speaking about that relationship in particular because I don't know. I don't even know who the second person is.
What do you mean?
I know who
The one-
Tom Hanks is.
His wife
Yeah, but I don't
of like 40 years.
know anything about
No.
her or their relationship.
I wasn't.
But you know, relationships that you know, stood the test of time.
Right. That's what I'm
I
generally
have
speaking.
one in particular in mind,
Like?
and I would say that's my aunt and uncle. I feel like they've been married over 40 something years.
Same thing.
I
What
And-
is it about them that made that work?
Which
think
one?
they understand each other,
Okay. Ooh, now who doesn't know who somebody's talking
right?
about?
Jackie and Jerome?
No, I'm talking about my aunt and uncle, not yours.
Jesus.
But no, I think that they understand each other and they have personalities that work well together. One, they're fun. just gonna leave it at that.
She
they're
knows
fun.
she knows how to handle him.
Yeah.
Let's just put it like
Okay.
that. Everybody couldn't handle a person like him, but she does a good job at it.
Mhm.
Okay.
She does a good job at it.
And I think they communicate well. Like even when there are times when they don't agree on things, and they'll just be like, you know what, this is not one of those things that we're gonna see eye to eye on. So we just gonna leave that there.
Which also makes me wonder about people that are in relationships that try to be together and realize, the whole we're better as friends. And in fact, they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I've had a relationship like that where we're just better as friends and together longer as friends than as, relationship.
Mm.
That's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
And again, just because someone wants you doesn't mean that they're good for you.
Oh, good point. Very well said.
And then going back into the self-worth and dating with purpose, God didn't put us here to settle.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here for that purpose. This isn't just about faith. It's about values, vision, and alignment. Being yoked means walking life together. Can they walk with you spiritually, emotionally, and with purpose? You are worth more than scraps. Did I say that?
You did.
You are worth more than scraps.
Now, why are you laughing?
Cause she really be like, oh, I just hit a nerve.
Or even, second choice, or I'll keep you till something better come along, or someone better come along, or,
Have you ever done that? Kept one that they're like, I'll put
I'll
up with
keep
you for
until
now?
somebody. I didn't. I wasn't that type of person. I wasn't that
No.
type of person that, I wasn't that dog type of person, and I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna wait till somebody else come along, But you got a lot of people that do that, or they'll have you,
I mean, maybe not necessarily cheat on them, but just be like, I'll be with you until something better happens.
Do you feel like that's been done to you?
Or until somebody else come along that can get them off.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's
Some
fair.
people just got somebody around just so they can.
So they can just Netflix and chill.
So they can Netflix and chill, release, and all right, I'll holler.
Release.
Come on.
Okay.
It's the truth.
We're using some words today.
It's getting real on this one. Wow, a side of you I didn't know existed.
I'm scared.
I mean, we could go into Psalm 139:14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
That's my favorite scripture.
When you believe this deeply, you stop auditioning.
What?
You stop auditioning for roles.
You know that she looked at me like I was supposed to know the end of that?
You were never.
She looked at me, I would have felt the same way.
You stop auditioning for roles you were never meant to play in.
That's
somebody
not in the Bible.
else's story. You are not meant to play in somebody else's story. Stop trying to be this actor, actress. You again trying to fit in to somebody else's life.
Stop
and
trying to be
roles.
somebody you're not, basically.
Somebody.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of us will try to fit in just because they don't want to be alone. And it's not going to work.
Or change who you are to appease that person.
I've done that too many times, and it never.
Yep.
And I end up hating who I am. Every time.
And then when you do that and you get with this person and eventually it starts falling apart and it's not working and it's you start feeling me. It's like, why am I here? You start feeling, I'm feeling this conviction. I start feeling convicted. I start feeling like, God, I know this ain't right. I shouldn't be, Okay, she never felt that before. Okay.
I mean, I know I've been in bad relationships, and then I realized that the only reason we were still together is because I was good at Netflix and chill. Just saying.
Oh, my God.
I have felt conviction, but it wasn't because of a relationship. It was because of a job.
Well, how did that work?
I continued to make excuses to stay, feeling like I had to be loyal to that place, that employer, because they gave me my first shot, fresh out of grad school. I'm moving from one state to the next. They don't know me at all. I felt like I owed them something. But over time, I'm like, I'm seeing this, all these problems that are arising. You coming to me with a bunch of bull. This is not working. But I was still like, nah, it'll get better. It'll go away.
What changed? When did your mind go, nope, that's not right? And when did you move on? What caused the change to think differently?
Well, fuck it, we ball. The owner stopped me in the hallway to talk to me about something that should have been a one-on-one conversation, about my pay. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. It was totally unprofessional to me, and she apologized for that. Like later on, we had a really heart-to-heart conversation where I expressed myself and all of the things that I had observed, and and let her know why I was leaving, and told her, I can leave at this point. I can leave at this point. I don't want you to feel like I'm using you for anything, but. It was just like the straw that broke the camel's back.
It was the light bulb moment.
Yeah, it was like I went back to my office and was like, that was so inappropriate. Like that did not. I actually talked to my supervisor that day, like shortly after it happened, and was like, I'm quitting. And then I sent in my notice like maybe the next day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until after that we had
Was anybody
conversation.
surprised when you made that decision, or were they kind of like, no,
So-
we saw that coming?
When I sent it in, it was a Thursday. And so I'm waiting like all weekend, like, for somebody to respond to me, and they never did. And so I had to go to her like, did you get my notice?
Mm-hmm.
Or she's like, yeah, I was hoping you would change your mind. Well, I haven't. So what's next?
And I say that comparing it to like if you're breaking up,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, so this is going to be over. Where they're like, well, I didn't see this coming, or they're like, oh, well, we kind of knew.
Yeah. No, I think it was like that. And it was a lot of like, if you change your mind, you can come back. And I really messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I saw my error like on her behalf. And, and I get that. But my decision is final.
Sure.
I've made up my mind. And I had.
And you've already shown your side, not you, but that other person.
Right.
I see
so
who you are.
many times that I ignored.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it's like, you seeing red flag after red flag after red flag. And now.
Even on a job.
Yeah.
It's messing up my livelihood. Oh, I got to go.
Yeah.
And I hadn't interviewed anywhere. I had nothing lined up. I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Well, and it's like the divorce scenario. I'm out. I'm leaving. I have no place to go. I have no things. I have, my life is in this house or whatever. And you decide, I've just got to get out of it.
Like they say, when you get sick and tired, you can be tired.
Yeah.
You're going to still kind of sit on it.
Yep.
But when you get sick and tired,
Yeah.
ain't nothing nobody can say to
You'll
you.
do what you need to do to not
gonna
feel
make
that
it
way.
happen.
Wow. That must have been just like a relationship, though.
And I know that I did the right thing because honestly, within the next week, I had gone on so many interviews and got hired for every last one that I interviewed for, and with them meeting the salary that I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it was meant to be.
Look at God.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I would say that's a conviction that came up for me that, yeah, like you guys are saying, it feels similar to a relationship.
Yep. Being in a relationship, you start feeling convicted. You start feeling it's like, just wrong, Okay, well, we got through this, huh? Love starts with God, not a person. Knowing God's love to help you discern fake love. I think God plays a big part in relationships.
Yeah, or he should at least.
He should. When you're full of him, you're less likely to settle for someone who only fills a temporary need. Again, you are not desperate. You are divine. Stop dating people who treat you, again, like a convenience store, in and out, any time of the day or night. You are not a backup plan. You are the prize, the blessing. God is not withholding love from you. He's protecting you from what you think is love. But it's really just attention dressed in disguise, as you all know it, as the representative.
Bruh. Why do you look at me when you do that?
I can't stand these two.